If you're a man who has been told your testosterone is fine, but you still feel like garbage, this video is probably for you. And if you're a man who has been told your testosterone is low and TRT is the answer, this video is especially for you. Because there are two systems currently handling the testosterone conversation in this country, and both of them are getting it wrong. I'm Seth, I'm an ER physician, former special ops guy, and today I'm going to show you what nobody in either of those systems is actually asking you about, and why the answer to most cases of low testosterone has nothing to do with a prescription. Let's get into it. Let me explain what I mean by two broken systems, because understanding this changes how you think about the whole conversation. System one, traditional medicine. You go to your doctor, you're tired, you have low libido, losing muscle, gaining fat, foggy, unmotivated. You felt this way for a year. You ask about your testosterone. If you're lucky, they'll order a test. Total testosterone comes back, let's say it's 320. Normal range is 300 to 1,000, so technically you're in range. Doctor says you're fine. Well, you are not fine. You feel terrible, but the number says normal, so the conversation is somehow over. Or, and this happens more than you'd think, your total testosterone looks low enough that they hand you a testosterone gel. Use this daily, come back in 3 months, we'll talk about it again. But nobody asked about your sleep. Nobody asked about your diet. Nobody asked about your stress levels or your body composition or whether you've lifted weights in the last 5 years. Just, here's a gel, good luck. And here's the thing about testosterone gels specifically. They are notoriously inconsistent in absorption. They transfer to your partner and your kids through skin contact, and they suppress your body's own production because when you give your body testosterone from outside, it stops making its own, which is fine if you plan to be on it forever, less fine if you were hoping to fix the underlying problem, because that was never even addressed. System number two, online TRT clinics. These have exploded in the last few years. And look, some of them are legitimate. Some are run by genuinely good physicians who care about men's health. But a lot of them, and I am going to be direct here, will prescribe testosterone to almost any man who walks through their virtual door. Low T, here's TRT. Normal T, but you want to feel better? Here's TRT. Optimal T, but you want more muscle? Here's TRT. It doesn't really matter what your levels are. The answer is usually the same. And again, nobody is asking why your testosterone is low in the first place, because here's what both systems have in common. Neither one is asking the most important question. What is causing this? Because for the vast majority of men, and I've seen a lot of men with this complaint, the answer to that question is not your testicles stopped working. The answer is almost always sitting in how you eat, how you sleep, how you train, and how much chronic stress your body is carrying around every day. And those things are fixable without a prescription. But before we get into the fixes, let's talk about what you actually need to know before you make any decisions about your testosterone. Because most men, even men who have had their testosterone checked, have had the wrong things measured. So here's the panel I want you to ask for the next time you see your doctor, or you can order it on your own. Total testosterone, free testosterone, sex hormone binding globulin, estradiol, FSH, LH, morning cortisol, TSH, free T3, and free T4. That's the full picture, but here's why each one matters. Let's go through them one at a time. Total testosterone is just the starting point. It tells you the total amount of testosterone in your blood, bound and unbound. Most of it is bound to proteins and completely unavailable to your cells. So total T alone tells you very little. Free testosterone is what's actually available. This is the number that correlates with how you feel. You can have perfectly normal total testosterone with free testosterone in the gutter, and your doctor would tell you that you're fine because they only ran the total testosterone. And then there's sex hormone binding globulin, or SHBG. This is a protein that binds testosterone. Remember I said that a second ago that most testosterone is bound? This is the protein that binds to it and takes it out of circulation. When SHBG is elevated, free testosterone drops proportionally, and SHBG is directly influenced by things like lifestyle, sleep, body fat, dietary fat intake, and training load. Another one, estradiol, your estrogen level. Men need some estrogen, but when it's too high, which happens when body fat is elevated because fat tissue converts testosterone to estrogen, you get symptoms that look exactly like low testosterone. Fatigue, mood changes, low libido, loss of muscle. You need to know if this is part of your picture. FSH and LH, follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone. These are the signals that your brain sends to your testicles to produce testosterone. If your total T is low, but your FSH and LH are normal or high, your brain is sending the signals to your testicles, but your testicles aren't responding appropriately. That's one conversation. If FSH and LH coming from your brain are low, with your testosterone also being low, then your brain isn't sending the signals to the testicles. Also, a very different conversation. You need to know which one that you're dealing with. Otherwise, the total testosterone picture that your doctor is giving you doesn't make any sense, all right? Morning cortisol, because chronically elevated cortisol is one of the most common and most overlooked suppressors of testosterone production. Cortisol and testosterone are essentially on opposite ends of the seesaw. When one goes up, the other one goes down, and most men walking around with low T are also walking around with chronically elevated cortisol from things like sleep deprivation, chronic stress, and overtraining, and nobody checks this. And then there's the thyroid, because hypothyroidism produces a symptom profile almost identical to low testosterone, fatigue, weight gain, low libido, brain fog, depression. If your thyroid is underperforming and nobody checked it, you might be about to go on TRT for a thyroid problem, which will resolve nothing for you. So get all of these tests, not just total testosterone, all of them. Then, before you do anything else, spend 6 months doing what I'm about to tell you. And here's the thing, guys. Most of you are not going to listen to me. Most of you are not going to do what I tell you to do because most people want the quick fix. They want the pill, they want the shot, they just want to, get the flat 6-pack abs right now. But I'm here to tell you, if you are not willing to put in the work now, you're probably not going to put in the work after you go on testosterone, and it's going to do absolutely nothing for you. So I'm going to put it out there anyways, and you get to make the decision. All right, 3 things. If you do these consistently for 6 months and your testosterone is still low, then you have a real conversation with a responsible men's health clinic armed with a full lab panel and an honest history of what you've actually tried. But most men haven't done these things, not consistently at least, not for 6 months, and they're reaching for TRT before they've ever given their own biology a real chance to work. All right? Lever number 1 is sleep. This is the one I lead with because it is the most impactful and also the most ignored. There's a study published in JAMA, which is one of the leading research magazines in the world, found that healthy young men who slept less than 5 hours a night for just 1 week had testosterone levels 10 to 15% lower than when they were fully rested. 10 to 15% from 1 week of bad sleep. The researchers found that losing sleep reduces testosterone by the same amount as aging 10 to 15 years. Think about that. You could be 35 years old with testosterone of someone who's 50 years old. Not because anything's wrong with you, but because you've been sleeping 6 hours a night for the last 3 years and calling it discipline. Here's why. The majority of your daily testosterone production happens while you're sleeping, specifically during deep sleep. Your body pulses out testosterone throughout the night, peaking in the early morning hours. When you cut your sleep short, you cut that production window short. And it's not just total hours. Sleep quality matters too. Sleep apnea, which is massively underdiagnosed, fragments your sleep architecture and tanks testosterone production, even if you're technically in bed for 8 hours. If you snore, if your partner says that you stop breathing, if you wake up exhausted despite a full night's sleep or with headaches, get a sleep study before you get a testosterone prescription. This is also one of the same primary ways that alcohol disrupts sleep as well, all right? So if you're consuming alcohol in the evening, you're probably disrupting your sleep and you're getting less sleep, which means less testosterone production. 7 to 9 hours, same time down, same time up, dark, cold, quiet room. This is not optional advice. This is the single most impactful thing that men can do for their testosterone right now. Lever number 2, lifting, specifically compound movements, heavy-ish, done consistently. Big multi-joint movements like squats, deadlifts, rows, presses produce a significant hormone response. Testosterone spikes in the 15 to 30 minutes following these sessions, and men who train consistently have more favorable hormone environment profiles overall. Less body fat, better insulin sensitivity, lower cortisol, and higher growth hormone. Critically, resistance training reduces visceral fat, which directly reduces aromatase activity. Aromatase is the enzyme that converts testosterone into estrogen. So, less fat means less conversion from testosterone to estrogen, which means more of your testosterone stays as testosterone. And here's something worth knowing as well. Research found that exercise training alone improves arterial function by 28%. TRT without exercise showed no improvement. Your cardiovascular system responds to effort in ways that hormones cannot replicate. The prescription, 3 days per week, compound movements, consistent for 6 months. Not a month, not until you get bored, 6 months. And then lever 3, nutrition. 2 things clearly supported by the evidence. First, eat enough. Chronic undereating, especially chronic low-fat intake, suppresses testosterone production. Testosterone is synthesized from cholesterol. Your body needs dietary fat to make it. Men who chronically restrict calories or eat very low-fat diets consistently show lower testosterone levels. It makes sense. But I see this constantly. Men training really hard, sleeping okay, but chronically undereating because they're trying to lose weight and wondering why they feel and look terrible. Your body interprets severe caloric restriction as famine, and during a famine, reproduction is not a priority, therefore your testosterone drops. So, eat real food, enough of it. Prioritize protein and fat. Don't be afraid of eggs and meat and natural fats. These are the building blocks of testosterone production. And second, reduce ultra-processed foods. Processed foods drive insulin resistance. Insulin resistance disrupts the hormonal axis that regulates testosterone production. It also promotes fat gain, which increases aromatase, which converts more testosterone to estrogen. The whole system begins working against you. So, real food, enough calories, adequate fat, consistently. All right? And here's a bonus one for you. Stress. I said 3 levers, and I meant it, but I'd be doing you a disservice if I didn't mention this briefly. Cortisol and testosterone are on opposite ends of the seesaw, as I mentioned. Chronically elevated cortisol from work stress, financial stress, relationship stress, overtraining, sleep deprivation, undereating, all of those things suppress testosterone production directly at the level of the hypothalamus, which is in the brain. You cannot out-supplement or out-medicate a chronically stressed nervous system. If you are running on cortisol all day, every day, your testosterone will reflect that. No amount of TRT fixes the underlying problem. You'll just be the stressed guy on testosterone, which creates its own set of issues. Manage the load, build in recovery. This isn't some soft advice, guys. This is literally hard science endocrinology. Now, let me be clear about something before we wrap this up. I am not anti-TRT. There are men for whom testosterone replacement therapy is genuinely the right answer. It has been ignored for far too long. Many men have been suffering from it, and finally it's available with a prescription. Men with primary hypogonadism, where the testicles themselves are not producing testosterone due to injury, illness, genetic condition, whatever it is, men who have done everything right for at least 6 months, whose levels remain clinically low with a full panel showing no correctable underlying cause, men with significantly low levels and real quality of life impact. For those men, TRT is legitimate medicine, and a responsible health clinic with a physician who's actually looking at your full picture, not just your total testosterone, can be genuinely life-changing for a lot of guys. But that is not most of the men currently going on TRT. Most of them are sleep-deprived, overtrained, underfueled, chronically stressed, carrying excess body fat, and eating processed food 3 times a day. And nobody has addressed any of that before writing a prescription. So here's the path. Get a full lab panel, total testosterone, free testosterone, sex hormone binding globulin, estradiol, FSH, LH, morning cortisol, and full thyroid. Baseline everything, know exactly what you're dealing with. Then 6 months, sleep 7 to 9 hours, lift 3 days a week, eat real food and enough of it, manage your stress and training load, and retest at the end. If you've genuinely done all of that and your levels are still low with FSH and LH pointing to a real production problem, then you have an honest conversation with a responsible clinic from a position of knowledge rather than desperation. But I would bet, based on what I have seen with hundreds of men, that most of you won't need that conversation because most of you have never actually given your body the conditions it needs to produce testosterone the way it was designed to. Give it those conditions first. If you want help putting this together, the training, nutrition, the recovery, all of it structured around your specific situation, check the links below for how we can work together. And if you want to know what your labs actually look like and what to do about the gaps, My video on the 5 blood tests your doctor isn't running is worth watching next. Link will be in the description. Don't forget to subscribe. Please, helps the channel. Most of you aren't subscribed. Just click the button right now. Thank you so much. Until next time, guys. Keep moving.